Tonight, an investigation into a Williamsburg native's death sheds light on ignored protocols by the U.S. Army.
And today marks 2 years since the death of First Lieutenant Zachary Galley, who fell to his death during a military training accident. Only on 13 News Now, Marta Berglund spoke to Galley's family, and a warning: some details in this story may be disturbing.
For Gail and Michael Galley, May 11, 2024 started as a good day.
It was my daughter's senior prom, and so she wanted to go out in the morning and scout locations for pictures.
But moments after Gail returned home, everything changed.
You see stories of 2 police officers. I've seen movies, 2 military people show up at somebody's doorstep. I knew what was up. It was just the first 2 words on behalf, and that's when we lost it.
U.S. Army representatives told the Galleys their son Zachary had died during a training exercise at Fort Johnson in Louisiana.
He was extremely caring, liked to joke around a lot.
We got countless stories of how many people said that he was their best friend because he would just take time and listen to them.
First Lieutenant Zachary Galley also excelled in his short military career. UVA awarded him the Professor of Military Science Award his graduating year, given to the cadet deemed most ready to lead a platoon. After his assignment to the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team, which identifies and disarms explosives, he passed all 45 required tests on the first try, a rare feat earning him the moniker Unicorn. Gail and Michael say their son's skill and commitment make his death even harder to grasp.
And I know he didn't fail, so it's either they failed him in training or they failed in safety. And that's exactly what came out in this report.
It was both, and it was multiple.
The Galleys say they didn't receive the official investigation report into Zachary's death until 13 months after the fatal incident. And when they finally did...
Frustration is not the right word. Heartache, heartbreak, frustration, anger, sorrow, you name it.
It's all of this.
When the Army handed over its investigation report, Gail and Michael read every one of the hundreds of pages of findings.
We knew it already, but anytime you read anything in black and white, it becomes more real.
The report confirmed First Lieutenant Zachary Galley fell 4 floors to his death through an elevator shaft door, a door that safety inspections said had been locked, but wasn't.
I was ready for a fight, and I was ready for them to deny. They are admitting to every bit of negligence and failure of training and not following their own policies and procedures. I couldn't believe it.
We reviewed the investigation report the Galleys received. In it, the Army admits required risk assessment paperwork for the platoon's training rotations wasn't done. Neither were the required safety inspections. The report even stating there was confusion at Fort Johnson over who was supposed to do them. The lock supposedly securing the door Galley fell through, missing, even though the most recent inspection said the door was, quote, locked and secured. And soldiers did not get a warning about the elevator shaft before the training began. The report states multiple times officials did not follow protocol in place to ensure soldier safety during training.
It was hard reading it nonetheless, of seeing the systemic failure on multiple levels, not just a door.
There were so many opportunities for the outcome to not have been what it was.
After the Army admitted their son's death could have been prevented, the Galleys sought justice, but were immediately met with a major hurdle.
To find out that they are able to completely ignore their policies and procedures and nothing can happen to them, nothing will happen to them, was mind-blowing to me. I couldn't comprehend that, because in the civilian world, that would never happen.
The Ferez Doctrine, an exception to the Federal Tort Claims Act, states the United States military is not liable for injuries to members of the armed forces, even in cases of negligence. The Galleys say, for the thousands of families like theirs, it's time for change. For 13 News Now, I'm Marta Berglund.
And Army officials did not comment on the story, but acknowledged our requests.
Coming up tomorrow on 13 News Now, a legal expert breaks down the Ferez Doctrine as the family tells us about their fight for change and accountability.